Hi everybody, this is Miss Tiger. This is the face that goes with the hands of the city of bread. And today we're going to be making honey smoked barbecue chicken.
Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, consumed by worry, asking yourself, what if this happens? What if that goes wrong? The weight of uncertainty can be overwhelming. But let me tell you something today that will change the way you approach life. You cannot control everything, and that's okay. The truth is, worrying does not change a thing. It only steals your peace and traps you in a cycle of fear. But there is a way out of this cycle, trusting God with what you cannot control. Trust is not something that just happens. It is a choice we must make daily. Trusting God is not passive, it requires action. It's an active decision to rest in the fact that God knows what He's doing with your life. When you choose to trust Him, you are declaring that you believe His plans are good and perfect, and that He is in control, even when you cannot see it. Worry is the opposite of faith. It's a reflection of doubt, and it paralyzes you. It keeps you focused on your problems instead of the God who can solve them. Faith, on the other hand, takes your eyes off the problem and places them firmly on God. Faith says, I don't know what will happen, but I know God is with me. When you trust God, you stop worrying because you understand that God's power is greater than your problems. The Bible makes it clear that God is in control of everything. Psalm 103:19 tells us the Lord has established His throne in the heavens and His kingdom rules over all. This means nothing is outside His reach. Whether it's the course of nations or the details of your life, God is sovereign. When you surrender control, you are embracing His sovereignty and recognizing that He has everything under control, even when you can't see the way. The moment you release control over what you cannot change is the moment you experience peace. Jesus Himself said in Matthew 11:28, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. When you stop trying to control every situation, you allow God to step in and carry the burden for you. Trusting God is about saying, Lord, I cannot handle this on my own, but I know you can. So the Bible is filled with commands to trust God. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. This is not a suggestion, it's a command. God calls us to trust Him completely with all of our hearts. When we trust Him, He promises to guide us, direct our steps, and make our path straight. Living free from anxiety is not about ignoring your problems, but about facing them with the assurance that God is with you. Philippians 4:6-7 encourages us, saying, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. The key is prayer, bringing your worries to God and letting His peace guard your heart. Trusting God means trusting in His provision, even when things seem uncertain. Remember the Israelites in the wilderness. God provided for them every single day. He sent manna from heaven, gave them water from a rock, and led them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. If God can provide for millions of people in the desert, He can surely provide for you no matter what you're going through. Worry is a heavy burden. It weighs down your spirit, clouds your judgment, and robs you of your peace. Jesus tells us in Matthew 6:34, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Worry does nothing but add more stress to your life. When you trust God, He lifts that burden from you and fills you with His peace. Trust is not something that just happens by itself. It is a decision, a conscious choice that you make every single day. It's easy to think that trust is automatic or natural, but in reality, trusting God is an active decision that requires your will. Every time you face a challenge, a fear, or an obstacle, you have the choice to trust or to worry, to rely on your own understanding, or to lean on God. This is where the power of trust truly lies. When you trust in God, you're choosing to place your confidence in His ability to guide you through every circumstance. Trusting Him isn't about knowing all the details of what will happen next, but rather about believing that He is sovereign and in control, even when things seem out of your hands. It's about understanding that God's perspective is far greater than ours, and his timing is always perfect, even when we can't see it. You see, trust is not passive. Trusting God means choosing to rest in his promises no matter what your circumstances look like. It's not simply saying I trust God, but living it out through your actions, your decisions, and your mindset. The moment you decide to trust him, you're making a commitment to surrender control of your worries, your fears, and your doubts into his capable hands. This active trust will carry you through the storms of life because it is rooted in the deep understanding that God is always with you, working for your good. This kind of trust brings freedom because it frees you from the chains of anxiety and fear. When you trust God, you don't have to hold on to the illusion of control because you know he is always working on your behalf. The power of trust is that it transforms your mindset from one of worry to one of peace. It's not just about believing God can help you, it's about actively choosing to trust that he will. And in that trust, you find a peace that surpasses all understanding. A peace that keeps your heart and mind secure in him. Worry and faith cannot coexist. They are opposites and they pull you in two different directions. Worry focuses your attention on problems, possibilities, and fears, whereas faith focuses your attention on God's power, promises, and presence. So when you worry, you are essentially telling yourself that you believe in the worst outcome, that you are certain things will go wrong. You allow fear and doubt to control your mind, and in doing so, you block the ability to see the solutions that are right in front of you. Faith, on the other hand, does not ignore the reality of difficulties. Faith acknowledges the presence of challenges, but chooses to focus on the God who is greater than any problem. Faith says, even though I don't understand what's happening, I trust that God is in control and he is working things out for my good. It's not about having all the answers or seeing the complete picture. It's about trusting the one who holds the future in his hands. When you choose faith over worry, you make a decision to place your confidence in God's character and his ability to bring you through any situation.